Hello, friends. This is Mrs. Lamont. I've been thinking a lot about poetry lately. What is poetry? I think that's an interesting question. To me, poetry is, I know it when I see it. Or I guess I would say I know it when I feel it. Last year, we talked about poetry moments. Those times in your day, it happens all the time, if you're open to them, where you just have this feeling that, whoa, that was something special. That little thing actually could be something big. There's something really beautiful in that that's connecting to something else, and you just kind of feel it. And I think that poetry is just being open to those moments. When I read a poem that touches me, this is the feeling I get. I guess the best way I can define poetry is by telling you the feeling I get from a poem. At first, I feel amazed. At first, I kind of go, I guess I go like, oh, I gasp for breath. I'm so amazed. But then, right after that, I feel like, did I know that already? I feel like what I just heard was familiar. It's almost like I found a memory. Like, first I'm amazed, and then I feel like I already knew it. I think that's what poetry is. It reaches us so deeply. And I think the reason is because it's like boiled down language. So I feel like this is an interesting way to think about it. If you think about when you boil something down, let's say you're making a sauce and you just heat it up on the stove, and you keep heating it and it bubbles, and that sauce then gets thicker and there's less of it, and it gets richer and more flavorful because you're boiling it down. And poetry is just like boiled down language. It's just getting to the very essence of something. And I think that you can do that with fewer words. That's what's so amazing about poetry. It gets you to the absolute boiled down essence of something, and it touches people on a deep level. So how do you begin to write a poem? I think that actually my Slate School friends lately have been giving me a lot of ideas about how to start. Some of the ways that I have noticed friends writing poems lately is they look at something like maybe an old photograph, something as simple as that, and they see it in a new way, and it leads them somewhere else. Or maybe an object, maybe something that's just like sitting on their desk and looking at them all the time, but all of a sudden they see that there's something there that could be boiled down into something meaningful. Or maybe they see it in someone's face. You see a poem in someone's face. It happens to me all the time with the people I love. Poetry is everywhere. You could just look in your backyard and see one little change, and that could lead to a poem. I think what's important is that start with something small. Start with noticing something small and see where it leads you. See if it takes you to a place where you can be amazed. And that when you write it, someone could read it and go, oh, and then say, whoa, I think I already knew that. That's a really powerful connection that I think poetry can make. So I also think that you are all already poets, my Slate School friends. You are walking around poets. You're poetry yourself. All you have to do is notice things, think about what they make you feel, and just write down that language, that boiled down language, and see what you find. Happy poetry writing. I cannot wait to read some of your poems. Bye.